What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Seph here. I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about these new exotics, the Necrotic Grips, and my goodness, they really did it with this one. So this you can get from one of the legendary lost sectors on either Europa or the Cosmodrome. I'll explain that in a few minutes. One of the intrinsic perks here is Grasp of the Devourer, meaning that you can damage combatants with melee attacks, corrupting them with increasing damage over time, and then defeating a corrupted combatant spreads the corrupting effect to nearby targets and restores melee energy. So this is really interesting because this really goes well with the Warlocks, especially with Monte Carlo. So the reason why I'm using Monte Carlo here is the intrinsic perk here. Dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee cooldown and grants a chance to fully charge your melee. So what does that mean? It means that when your melee ability is fully charged, you can continuously do this Necrotic grip damage. So I kind of want to stay with my melee energy here high. So there's two ways that you could do this. Alright, the first way is your regular melee, so I'm using the Shadebinder Warlock. Throw a snowball and then it creates this damaging effect. Alright, I'm sure you guys have seen the poison. Alright, now you could do that with a single enemy, but it's really recommended that you do this with, you know, like lots and lots of adds. Now, as you can see, my melee energy is back, so if I throw this, I'm trying to get them close together here. If I throw this at this guy here, oh, I missed. If I do a regular melee, it still activates. So this thing is still on no matter what, which is really, really good. And it continuously gives you that melee energy. As you can see, the melee energy is kind of restoring quickly. Now, I am on Europa and in Cadmus Ridge. In Cadmus Ridge this week, you can see that the Eclipse Zone is here. So when you're in the Eclipse Zone, your stasis abilities recharge faster. So I'm gonna give myself a little bit of room here, throw the snowball. Okay, he didn't do it. It's backfiring. Okay, but as you can see, like, this is really a good thing to use. And this, you can see this guy's dying from poison right there. So the poison from this is pretty significant. Now I want to show you guys this in a room full of ads. Okay, now another thing that you could do that I find very interesting is you could create basically a type of Warlock build that's really centered around ad clearing. Now what I did was I just had one armor that's taking charge, right? So become charged with light by picking up orbs of power. All right, so any one of your armors, you can have one of these, right? And the only thing that I really did was I kind of wanted to put this one here, the reactive pulse. Now this is an arc mod. While charged with light, when you take damage while surrounded by enemies, you emit a burst of arc energy. So what this is really good for is also when you are charged with light, you kind of automatically kind of do this arc boom where you're just destroying enemies left and right. Now, one of the things that adds a good bang for your buck is having Warminds, and that's what I did to each of these armors. So since I have a Warmind weapon here with the 7th Seraph submachine gun, and again, if you use any of the 7th Seraph weapons, you could create Warmind cells all day long. So for my primary, I had the 7th Seraph officer revolver here. For my secondary and my energy weapon, I had the 7th Seraph submachine gun. So you can do this however way you want. So you can pair this up to where you have either a solar Warmind build or an arc Warmind build, okay? So for the solar, I had Rage of the Warmind, which costs about 5 energy. It is a solar mod. Adds additional solar damage to explosions of Warmind cells. Then I added a little bit of arc energy with modular lightning. Basically, collecting a Warmind cell creates a burst of chaining arc energy. Now, I like this one a lot. The reason why is because I don't have to destroy it. All I have to do is touch the Warmind cell with this particular one, and it adds that burst of chaining arc energy. And then, of course, with my Necrotic Grips, I have Burning Cells, which basically says destroying a Warmind creates a burst of solar. So I've got double solar and arc. And to be honest with you guys, this thing is really beast. So right now I'm going to go to the legendary lost sector. Well, this one's not legendary. I'm going to go to the lost sector that's right in Cadmus Ridge, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, this is Perdition. Okay, and as you see, I'm going to throw the snowball, and boom, look at all that. And it's a lingering effect, which I find interesting. So you're going to go ahead and destroy these guys as best as you can. Okay, and I would say that any 3 to 4 enemies that you destroy with this produces a Warmind cell. So I'm going to bump up against it, and look at that arc damage, man. That's amazing. Alright, so this is really, really good stuff, guys. And I hope that all of you are like just experimenting with a lot of these Warmind builds, because I'm going to be really honest with you, they are really, really good. Okay, then of course I have my Bad Omens, and he, you know, that creates a lot of explosions. The Winter's Wrath is really, really cool, because once you freeze these guys, you could kind of create this little this thing here that kind of works as like a bursting effect to your super. So I really like this, guys. Please let me know if you have any recommended Warlock builds. I think that this is one bestial build that's really going to help you really clear those ads, especially in those legendary lost sectors. So once you do something like this, you create this like really, really intense poison build, where on top of freezing your enemies, you're also poisoning them. And this works really well with like the big guys. The only issue here, guys, is that you really have to destroy your enemy for the effect to last long. And again, even when you do it plainly, it does damage over time. So this guy's getting poisoned, as you can see, and eventually he dies. So this is really, really good stuff. Perfect for stuff like the wyverns and like any of the tanky enemies that you might see. I highly recommend having maybe a strength build where you're accentuating strength that recharges that melee ability rather quickly. Monte Carlo is really going to be your best friend here, guys. There's always room to use other primaries, and as you can see, I mean, the damage and the destruction that this really hits, it's really, really, really good. And for Warlocks especially, this is a good offensive type of build where you're striking a little more than you're defending. And obviously once you build up your stasis, it would be even better. So this way you have stronger melee abilities. I haven't done a lot of the aspects yet for my Warlock because I've been really just on my Hunter, but I mean, yeah, guys, this is a really, really great exotic to use, and it has a really wide berth. As you can see, these guys are melting, and that poison effect is kind of like it's really residual. So anyway, hope you guys liked the video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have not gotten Necrotic Grips, please, please, please get it as soon as you can. The way that I got it was actually kind of foolproof. I waited for the 1250 legendary sector to appear. The 1280 ones are really, really difficult, and I wouldn't recommend them unless you're really high in light. And it might take a few tries for you guys to actually get it. So just be patient and know that your hard work is going to pay off. Okay. Oh, nice. Prime Engram. Alright. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to the Pink Titan channel. I appreciate all of you guys stopping by, and we will see you on the flip side.